Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today we are going through some of the live setups. Please note these are only probability and possibilities and there is no warranty associated with any of them. So let's look at first Deepak Nitrate. So we are at daily chart of the Deepak Nitrate, and if you look back somewhere around 6 months, around October, it made a high of 3000 plus, then it made a low of below near to 2000, and then made a high of 2600, again low around 1800, and now recently it's somewhere around 2300 mark. If we draw the three top, the blue line which I kept it here, if we draw these three together, then it becomes a trend line. Okay, trend line, and then this is the top end of the trend, which is around 2359 or 2350 consider. So now what happens, if the share have to come down, then this will become a resistance here, somewhere around 2360 or 2370, and it's going to hit this point and it's going to come down. More likely it's going to come down till 1813, and if it's in further downtrend, it may break this previous low and it may go down another 7-8% from here. So this is one of the setup where we get into trade, or we try to trade this setup. So how this happens, one can go alongside or buy on the delivery. If this guy start trading above 2360 or 2370 mark and it stays around this price at least a week, it stays above this price, this line at least a week, and then we can consider at least it may go again till 2600. This is one of the setup on the long side. Other setup is if this here stays below this line and try to hit this line many times, and every time it comes down, then it's more of a short setup, and then one can and if it stays below this line for at least a week, then one can keep stop loss couple of percent above this line, like whichever point he's taking the trade. Let's say 2330 or 2340 is taking the trade, so 2330 plus 2% on the stop loss, so maybe around 2400 is stop loss, and then one can look for a downwards movements again towards 1800 mark or something, or even below mark. But yeah, 1800 is something we can assume that it may again come down. So this is a critical point. If it's already crossed this point, then we can understand, okay, now the movement is going to be upward and it's going to go towards 2600. And if it stays below for a week, below this point, then we know that okay, now it's going to go down. But this is a critical point where, I mean, one should not take a trade, or one should not take any major decision, but wait for a few days of consolidation and wait for a clear direction from here. Now we'll be taking another example. This time we are taking DLF again. This is a daily chart of DLF, and again, if you this is around a year of data, and if you put together all the tops, it becomes a downtrend line. And then if you see, there are 3 times when it hit this trend line, and every time it came down, and now it's trying to move, though it made a lower low, but it's trying to move high, and it's trying to move like high. So if we say, if we currently it's around maybe 390 or 394, and if you increase this line towards the trend line, it comes down to be it goes till 410 rupees. So if we draw this, if we have drawn this trend line, then this trend goes till at least 410. So we can it's very safe to assume that this share might go till 410, and it may consolidate at 410, or the decision point will come only around 410. If it start coming down from these price only, then the trend become very weak. But if the trend have to continue, it have to go till 410 and take a decision whether I'm going up or I'm coming down. So again, at 410, first the trade becomes like with the current price, couple of percent stop loss, and it goes till 410. That becomes one trade. Second trade setup happens when it touches 410. Either it immediately closes 410 and stays above 410. That time your 410 becomes stop loss, or 400 becomes a stop loss, and then we trail high for the at least 7-8% gain from there. Third trade setup happens when it hit 410 and does not break 410, and it started coming down or started consolidating around 410. So in that case, somewhere a couple of percent from 410, which is 418 mark, so somewhere around 418 or 419 becomes your stop loss, and then we head down, then we trade downside for the at least 6 to 8%. So roughly you can assume from if you somebody have sorted around 410 mark or 408 mark, he can again assume that the share will come down below 400, somewhere around 370, 380 mark or even below. So this is our second trade setup on DLF. Now we'll look into another one, State Bank of India. Again, this is another price action setup, similar price action setup with ascending line. A couple of the ones we have saw is a descending line where both prices are continuously coming down. But if you if you see this one, the price is going up, like the tops are it's making a new higher top. So let's see this one. Here it made a top of somewhere around 540 in November. Then it made another top of 549, little higher than the previous one. Okay, and now what is expected, if we draw a trend from these two tops, we are coming to a point, and then yeah, of course we are coming to a point where the new tops looks to be somewhere around 548 or 547. This is a mark we can count somewhere around here. If we see, share made a first lower low of 447, then another low of I think 425, and now it's trying to go high. So we are here somewhere around 498. If somebody have to get into a trade, he can keep a couple of percent down as a stop loss. So let's say 498 is the price, so 2% around 10 rupees, so 490 or 488 is a stop loss, and one can expect a target of 540 or 547 to 550, this range. So this becomes a trend where it from this price it may go till 550. So there is no guarantee associated with it, so every time one have to keep the stop loss. Second thing one have to do is, if once you into trade and then, or you bought the delivery and you see there your trade is going in your direction, maybe you are 5% up, then you have to trail your stop loss to the upside. So once let's say the share goes to 520 or 530, then you reduce your stop loss to increase your stop loss to 515. So you make the minimum losses. So another example, Steel Authority of India, similar descending trend line. See 1, 2, 3 places where it hit the top and came down, then this is fourth. So again, this is a trading decision. From this point one have to trade. So this is here we are 107 rupees. So at 107 rupees, if it can be go in any direction, but yeah, this is a trend line. So if it stays above 107, let's say it stays above 107 and still around 110 for few days, a week time, then we can very simply assume that share have broken the trend line on upside, and from where at least it should go to the previous top, which is around 120, so 123. So we can expect from 110 the share may go to 120, 121, 123. And then if you want to open a long side trade, you please take a couple of percent stop loss, so from or 3% stop loss. Let's say from 107 you keep 103 or 102 as a stop and trail on upside. Same way, this trend is still not confirmed whether it's going down or up. So the short side trader, and as the trend is continuously on down as of now, so it can go sort it here and keep a stop loss around 110 or 112 few percent, and then can trade for the downside. So we can expect again somewhere around 90 rupees or lower level if it start coming down from this point. Ideal would be to wait at this point and let the trend form at one particular direction, and then keep the stop loss whether above or down on the trend line, couple of percent, and then get into trade from there. Another one, Nifty. See, if we see Nifty, this is a year chart. So somewhere around October it made high of 18,600, second high of 18,400, yeah, 350. So it made the lower high, and if we draw the trend, this looks like another lower higher at 18,115, 114. And you see next day, yesterday, it started coming down. It made a high of 18,095, which is few point lesser than 20 point lesser than day before yesterday. So now if we, as we have already seen this trend line, and it looks like again a descending trend line, descending line. So very likely that Nifty, if Nifty try to break this high, and if it's not able to break, then one can sort the Nifty here with the stop loss around 18,200, and then Nifty may come down from here to all the way, I think till here, 17,600 mark, and then next target possible might be again 17,300. So again, this is a critical point where one should not take a decision. It should wait for a couple of days, maybe couple of more days, and then see whether the direction is formed on upside or downside. I see possibility of downside also here, because this next candle after it made a new high did not follow through. So one have to wait and watch for a couple of days, and they then take the decision. So this is more on the trend line. I think that's all for today. Video is becoming long. Thank you guys. Thank you.